Hola clase! Today we're going to learn about adjectives and their genders. But first we're going to review nouns. So you already know that nouns have a gender. So they can either be masculine, feminine, singular, or plural. And sometimes they end in E. And when they do, they're usually neutral, like el estudiante or la estudiante. Sometimes they end in a consonant and you just have to memorize. Are they boys or girls? El lápiz, la lección. And you usually pluralize these by adding es. Now, adjectives also have a gender. And they must match the nouns that they modify in number and in gender. Some of the adjectives of nationality that you're responsible for are as follows. Alemán, argentino, canadiense, cubano, ecuatoriano, español, estadounidense, francés, inglés, japonés, mexicano, norteamericano, y puertorriqueño. So you'll notice that just like nouns, they either end in an O or an A or a consonant. So just like nouns, they are either masculine, feminine, singular, or plural. For example, alemán is a German boy, alemana, a German girl. Estadounidense can be either a boy or a girl. And a francés is a boy and francesa is a girl. So you have to use the appropriate adjective with its appropriate ending. El niño es mexicano. It's masculine singular. Los chicos son mexicanos. Feminine examples. La niña es cubana. Feminine plural. Las chicas son cubanas. Nationalities that end in a consonant are usually masculine singular. For example, Klaus es alemán. Edward es inglés. Javier es español. Yuta es japonés. They all end in just a consonant. So to make these plural, we add an es. Ellos son alemanes. Rafa y Antonio son españoles. Los actores ingleses. And los estudiantes japoneses. Remember, this could be all boys or a mixed group. To make it feminine, you add an A to the end. Alemán goes to alemana. Hannah es alemana. La mujer es bailarina española. Emma Watson es inglesa. Ella es actriz famosa japonesa. To make the feminine plural, you just add an AS. Son alumnas alemanas. Son actrices inglesas. Ellas son bailarinas españolas. Son actrices famosas japonesas. So here are some common descriptive adjectives that you're responsible for. I'm not going to help you memorize all of these, so please be sure to use your strategies. Say the words out loud, do an action for the word, link them to prior knowledge, use some kind of mnemonic device like a poem or a song or a drawing. Help your brain memorize these. For example, when I see the word alto, I think of altitude or an airplane flying up high. Alto. Bueno, you could make yourself flashcards with pictures on them or use Quizlet. Gordo. These right here are cognates, so they're very similar to English. Importante, inteligente, interesante. When I see the word joven, I think of juvenile. When I see the word malo, I think of something bad, mal, like a malignant tumor. Simpático reminds me of sympathetic. People who are sympathetic are nice. And antipático is the opposite. Anti is against or something negative. You already know trabajar means to work. So trabajador or trabajadora isn't a stretch. So you go through each one and try to figure out how you can put this information into your brain. So where do the adjectives go in Spanish? They go after the noun they modify. For example, el hombre guapo se llama Rafael. El hombre guapo, the man handsome, is called Rafael. El hombre feo se llama Max. Hombre is man, feo. So you're literally saying the man ugly. Matilda es la mujer fea. The noun and then the adjective. Susie es la mujer bonita. Otros ejemplos, Shaquille O'Neal es alto, atlético, famoso, y rico. He's masculine singular, so they're all masculine singular. Peter es bajo, pelirrojo, talentoso, y simpático. Again, masculine singular. If the subject is masculine plural, like diablos, then all of everything that comes after is masculine plural. Los diablos feos, antipáticos y malos se llaman Krampus. So literally the ugly, mean, and bad devils are called Krampus. It's the devil's ugly, mean, and bad. To make it feminine plural, ellas son cantantes, rubias, famosas, talentosas, bonitas, y ricas. So they are singers, blondes, famous, talented. So you pluralize the whole sentence. Some adjectives can be considered neutral, or they can be both masculine or feminine. For example, la tarea difícil. In this sense, tarea in the homework is feminine, so difícil is feminine. Las tareas difíciles. You add an es. El problema is masculine, so here it's still fácil or difícil or whatever. It still doesn't change. It's actually masculine, and here it's masculine plural. Los problemas fáciles. Remember, problemas is irregular. So you don't change this. You don't add an a, la tarea difícil. Nope, you leave it difícil. Otro ejemplo that of adjectives that are neutral and can be both masculine or feminine. Joven. For example, la niña joven es gordita. Joven is young. And in this one, it's masculine. El niño joven es gordito. So he's a boy, but it's still joven. She's a girl, it's still joven. To pluralize it, you add es. Los chicos jóvenes son gordos. Now, even if these were both girls and you would say las chicas, you'd still say jóvenes. Las chicas jóvenes son gordas. This one's a little strange because it ends in a consonant, but you must add an a to make it feminine. Like the nationalities, español, española, francés, francesa. So el hombre trabajador, but la mujer trabajadora. Los hombres trabajadores, but las mujeres trabajadoras. So this one is just a little different, and you have to memorize it. So there are adjectives that end in e that are neutral, and you just pluralize them with an s. For example, Einstein fue inteligente. He's a boy, so that's masculine. And Marilyn es inteligente. She's a girl, so that's feminine. Los ingenieros son inteligentes. You add es, or you add an s. Even if these were female engineers, you would still say inteligentes. Las ingenieras son inteligentes. There's a couple of weird things that you're just going to have to memorize, and one of them is bueno and malo. When you put them in front of a masculine singular word, you can chop off the O and shorten it to buen or mal. So this is one of the few adjectives you can put in front, but you chop off the O. José es buen amigo. José es un amigo bueno. So it can go in front or behind. But when it's behind, you leave the O. Hoy es un mal día. Hoy es un día malo. They both mean the exact same thing. Otros ejemplos. Hitler fue un mal hombre, or Hitler fue un hombre malo. They both mean the same thing. Maleficent es mala mujer. Ella es una mujer mala. Something else that's kind of strange is when grande appears before a single noun, it is shortened to gran, but it also changes the meaning. So for example, I could say, el pastor alemán es grande. So the German shepherd's big, but Abe Lincoln fue gran hombre. He was a great man. So it changes the meaning depending on its position. He was also very big, so I could say Abe Lincoln fue un hombre grande y un gran hombre. So let's recap. Most adjectives end in O, and they're pluralized with an S or an A and an AS. Bueno, buena, buenos, buenas, buenas, etc. So, and they usually go after the noun they modify. But some end in a consonant, and they can be either masculine or feminine. Some end in a consonant, and you must add an A to make it feminine. And these are usually the nationalities and then the word trabajador. Some end in an E and can be either masculine or feminine, and you pluralize with an S. And some just have some weird rules, like hombre grande versus gran hombre, or these are synonymous. Buen niño, niño bueno. Mal hombre, hombre malo. Practiquemos. What you're going to do is you're going to change the sentences to feminine plural. Por ejemplo, it says, el hombre es muy trabajador. You're going to pause the presentation, and then I'll give you the answers on the next slide. But let's look at our example. El would become las. Hombre is a man, so you'd want to say mujer, mujeres. Son is are. Muy is very, it doesn't change. Trabajador becomes trabajadoras. So to say the women are very hardworking. Las mujeres son muy trabajadoras. Go ahead and pause the presentation, and I'll give you the answers on the next slide. Okay, you should have had the following. Guapo means handsome, so you could say guapas, but it would probably be better to change it to bonitas. Fuerte means strong. Talentosas. I hope you did well.